Hi, my name is Kara. I am a transformation and energy specialist in Arizona, and today I wanted to talk about chemistry between two people. This can be, in a romantic way is what I am especially referring to, or, why do I have this really strong attraction to this person, or, why is it right person, wrong time type of thing, along with exchanging energy. So that I want to get in a little bit into STDs, being sexually transmitted demons or spiritually transmitted diseases. There is a reason. This is why you should not take it personal. If you have kind of came together with somebody and it's not quite working out, or they fall away, to never, ever, ever take it too personal. Not to say that there's never a reason, like people do something wrong that would push somebody away, but this entire planet and everything on it, including us and our energy, this is all chemistry, and our world around us, around our planet in our solar system and Earth and our inner energy. This is a polarity based universe. So this is a positive and negative force. That is a masculine and feminine. That is a give and a take. And everybody attracts everybody and manifests also what their world is around them based on the type of chemistry that is within one, right? So I just made a little sheet right here about all of our atoms and energy and within us, right? There's a positive and a negative, correct? So when two people have a really strong chemistry with one another, sometimes it can be of the same, that the same energies within them like attracts like, and it can be so powerful and intense that it feels so incredibly strong. It can be overbearing and overwhelming and feels so amazing and really good, but oftentimes that is for the wrong reasons. I don't want to say the wrong reasons, but I want to say it's more like a false attraction, and it can basically implode and go the opposite just as fast. So a lot of times people's sexual chemistry will this can be passing with somebody in a coffee shop, or of course interaction and conversation, not to mention before intercourse or what's creating intercourse, but also two people can have that chemistry, but so let's put it this way, after a man releases, often this energy buildup that he has been gaining, let's just say this light just keeps glowing and growing and growing and getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and once he releases that internal energy, the light completely goes out, right? So that goes away, and oftentimes men will even be somewhat unattracted to that person for a period of time after, or if you have ever came in ties with a strong soulmate, sometimes the man or one of them will pull away after, but typically because of that energy, it is the man. So I want to explain a little bit about why this is, and this doesn't have to be a really strong soulmate tie, but so if you have positive is the masculine energy. We all have both of these energies within us. Anybody who has dealt with a twin flame or anything like that is familiar with the masculine and feminine energies for sure. But what's happening on our planet is our system, everything around us has always been ran on an overly hyped masculinity type of just everything, just the way the system's running, right? So it was even so over masculinated that it was a toxic. So also not the strong positive masculine traits alone, which would be logic, assertiveness and, you know, confidence and supportive. Those are strong masculine traits that are very good to have, but to the fault, because there was so much lack of feminine traits, that it was overran with ego and narcissism and you know, controlling and that, right? So we all have been ran on these systems and raised in this environment. Everybody's internal personal energies are different, but everyone's having to lose a bit of their masculine traits. And women, so this is the thing, women are often very much in their masculine too, because many of us have had to play both parts. It's not how, you know, the man plays this part and is supportive. Many and most women are having to not only be supportive of themselves, but supportive of others and in their relationships and of children, and pull the full workload and then some, not to mention in school or whatever it may be. But they're having to put out so much that many women are overmasculated because of our system, you know, also, and the way we have to, you know, do so. Everybody, both men and women, are having to tap more into their feminine. So the masculine is going to be the positive. That's the sun. That is giving. That is projecting. That is an outward motion. So picture like the sun feeds plants and is it's a positive energy in chemistry. Okay, so this is giving. The feminine is taking. This is receiving and going inward, and you know, compassion and intuition. This is very internal. This is external. So this is logic, like brain. This is head over, we'll say, heart. You know, everybody's having to tap more into their feminine nature. So men cannot possibly be fully in their true masculinity, where they're supportive and strong and knowing when to be assertive and dominant and all that, if, you know, and trustworthy, etc., not ego-based, not narcissist-like traits, etc., they aren't able to have that healthy masculinity, like grounded and rooted, unless they have tapped into their femininity, where they are intuitive, and are able to express themselves healthily and have compassion for others and be considerate of others. You have to be able to do that to tap into your masculinity. A woman has to be in her feminine and learn to be able to receive, and not always being action based and going, you know, too much, but also to have a healthy feminine, and for both sides, not being manipulative or victimization, anything like that. So this is for men and women both. We both need an equal balance of these energies, right? So what happens when two people, this can be, like I said, a soulmate or somebody you're just interested in, and this can also be, this is of course with friendships and family as well, but this can also be if your marriage, you know, really hit it off and has, you know, kind of, you know, separated or gone downhill. It's because everybody, you know, we need a balance of these internally, but one side, you know, a masculine tends to have more masculine traits and stand in the masculine part, whereas the feminine, or it can be swapped, if the woman is the more masculine person and the man is the more feminine, in where they stand and their place in a relationship, these can be swapped. But typically, as I'm going to refer in this video, a man's going to be more in the masculine overall energy, and the feminine will be more in the feminine energy overall, but we both need both in a healthy balance. So if you come together with somebody and it seems to be hitting it off and you really like somebody and they're not able to give you the time and attention that you are wanting or deserving or, you know, expecting from somebody, you know, I hear a lot of, well, he sucks, basically. He's not doing this, not texting me, he sucks. It's more of a blame type of thing. Whereas, of course, if there is somebody that is not treating you the way you should be, then that should be the answer in itself if they are being disrespectful or deceitful or anything like that, correct? But, or unsupportive, any of those. But in the case that somebody's not available for a relationship or to give you the time you need and all that, they are likely more in their feminine energy or needing to work on that and build that man or woman, which is being able to receive and go inward and work on yourself. Whereas the person who's wanting to go after it and saying, hey, I need this, hey, I need that, hey, I want this, is projecting that outward. They're more in their masculine energy, right? So if a man is in his masculine energy and a woman is in the masculine energy, these two are going to attract to each other and come together and repel. One of them is going to repel stronger than the other and go that way. But when too much of the same strong energies, masculine or feminine, positive or negative, are apparent, that is going to go away. So same if you are already in a marriage or relationship, if one starts being way more in the masculine energy and controlling, demanding, and assertive, and the other one's not budging or not swapping energies, it's going to throw it off kilter, and you two will repel each other. And like I said, this can be somebody you're just interested in texting with, and it's just to honestly not take it personal when you are meeting somebody or are interested in somebody. Chemistry, energy doesn't lie. You cannot change somebody else's chemistry. You can only change your chemistry within yourself. And that's what's so magical about this world, is because it is chemistry based. We can alter and change our energy at any time. I don't am not an advocate for trying to manipulate others' energy or manifest particular people or change other circumstances. That is calling for trouble. For one, you can try. I don't recommend it. Everything that we put out in the universe is returned to us. So because that is karma. So karma doesn't have to be good or bad or anything. It's just that for every action there is a reaction. So everything that we're putting out is what's being reflected back to us is what we are, and that's what we're resonating at. So if we're resonating on a more masculine, action-oriented energy solely, we may attract somebody in that energy as well, but it's going to you're going to butt heads or end up repelling each other. Okay, so and then really quick before I get into the other, the more spiritually based stuff, if two people are needing to go inward and work on themselves, and they can have an attraction, but they're not really willing to give to one another for whatever reasons, they're pulled back or going inward, it's not going to go very far either. This will also repel. So if things don't work out, never, ever, 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 ever take it personal. The chemistry does not align. It's not meant to. You cannot change other people's chemistry. This doesn't mean you can't work on relationships, but if you're doing the inner work on yourself and balancing your masculine and feminine, and this also goes with the law of attraction, to have a healthy balance of these, then you are able to attract the things and the people and the relationships that are to align with you. Because if you're not in alignment, you're not attracting the people in alignment. And even though people do come on our path for a reason, and it's so we can work on this stuff and balance this out, but everybody's not meant to stay. So even if it feels like it. So let's get really into soul ties and bonds and really strong chemistry and sexual relations, because the more one has became more awakened and aware of their energy, you may very well be more sensitive or notice picking up on other people's energy, right? Well, fortunately, and it's one of those blessing and curses, this is something I have been sensitive to my entire life. And if this is new to you or you're not aware, this is the thing, these interactions and exchanges happen whether or not you are aware of it. So if you are becoming more aware, you really, really need to be conscious of who you are engaging with. And this can be, you can pick up energies from people you let into your house or being out in public. But honestly, there could not be more of an intense exchange than when you are in an engagement with somebody in that manner, you know, and that you are fornicating. Because so how this chemistry can be the same, or, you know, it will be more balanced if both people are playing their part, where they are strong and assertive and having boundaries, and also easygoing, like water, going with the flow, and flexible and considerate also, right? So the more balanced those relations will be in the bedroom, as well as you know, energetically and just in daily, you know, relations. But when two people cross paths and there's a very, very, very high attraction, sometimes people will think there's a reason that this person is crossing my path, or I know there's more to it, and they will give into it and have relations with people. Every person that you have really high chemistry with is not necessarily, does not mean that you're crossing paths to, you know, get nude with and interact in that way. And sometimes it can result in a really negative thing, and it can feel so strong and high vibrational and intense, like very, very, very intense. But oftentimes, and this isn't always, obviously I can't speak for every single, you know, chemical, you know, there's chemical attractions, physical attractions, or soul, and none of them are required to engage in that, even a soulmate. But really quick, I was going to say on that, a physical attraction would be, so say, you know, attracted to a physical appearance and through eye contact, or pheromones, and, you know, taste, breath, how a person kisses, and how well two are doing that together. Those are some physical attractions that you use with your senses, whereas a chemical attraction, it technically is a physical attraction, but I'm going to more so put it with energy. So there's chemistry in both, and that need to, you know, add up, and the more that they do and are balanced, the higher the chemistry is going to be. But like I said, sometimes two of the same can create an extremely high energetic attraction. We'll call that a chemical attraction, a chemical bond. And it is because maybe you're sharing the same frequency, but it can be of something bad, but it doesn't feel bad. And I don't like using the word bad or good, but something negative, as far as it can be not something positive that's creating this amazing feeling. It can be caused by trauma, experiences that have been had that are familiar to one another. They're both resonating, and when it adds, like, matches up, and two people you know, come into each other's zone that are vibrating at a similar frequency, it can feel very, very, very intense. But you won't know by any means that it is because of something not so positive with one another. So this can be an extremely strong sexual attraction, and also two things. So one, also, you know, we attract what is in us too. So unhealed stuff like that, you know, even if you're in a relationship, you may or may not realize or recognize or ever want to admit that, say somebody who has issues with their mother and had a not so good upbringing, or just doesn't like their mom, for example, somebody else, that you will find that your significant other often likely will have the same issues or the complete opposite, right? So, but it will trigger those things in you. That's why we attract the people we attract. This is all chemistry. So now on a spiritual and energetic level, when we interact these chemistries with each other, we pass these on with one another. And a woman is much more likely to feel it, and I want to say experience sometimes a lot of pain, or other things instead, because most people don't have a completely healed sacral sexual center. Your sacral sexual center is where all of that is held, but emotions, which is highly important to have cleared and balanced for both men and women, to overexpression of emotions, or just a healthy balance, to have a healthy balance of expressions of emotions, where men and women have both been suppressed, or women have been overly emotional. We have to have a balance of that. Blockages and other issues can cause creative blocks and all kind of energetic blocks. And sexual, of course, if anything more severe, like sexual abuse has happened, but this can be even just, if you were deceived in a relationship, or just breaking up, just past experiences and things that a lot of this energy is built throughout of our life, but a lot of it when we are much younger, between this and the root chakra, that we oftentimes are not even familiar, that we or do not realize that we even experienced or remember certain things, or even understand that we have these things going on. So what happens is, like I said, a man that is in tune with his feminine nature and intuitive may pick up on this, but a woman will feel it even more, because a man is, like the seed planter, and the woman's womb is where, that's insertion, and, that's how it happens. It is put inside the womb. So a woman will feel this much more by nature. We are highly intuitive, but oftentimes women do not realize that they are picking up these energies and why they are feeling these things. So that goes to say, I want to give an example of a very, very strong soul tie that I had. Yes, the sexual energy and stuff, we had a crazy attraction to each other, but that's not just initially it or how it started. We had a highly spiritual connection after a couple times of meeting and coming into contact with each other. He even asked and was like, when did you know? And I was like, wait, he knows too, but I didn't take it too much to heart or think too much of it, because I have had multiple soulmates, and in my life, like even a girlfriend, that I, met when I was 12, and, we knew we were from either the same place, or, knew each other in a past life. We've known always since soulmates. It's just that type of unconditional love that, never ever goes away. You will always understand a person on that level, right? Well, this person, I didn't get told. I was questionable about coming together with them. It was a very, very, very strong attraction, and to each other on many levels. This was on the soul level, this was spiritually, and of course our sexual chemistry was pretty high too. So I didn't want to give in at first. I wasn't totally trusting of it, and that was for good reason, because once I did give in and do that, it didn't feel horrible at the time, and I didn't even realize for sure, even though I've been aware of this always, and why I've been very cautious of the connections I engage in, and I was in a very, very long relationship, not to mention, so I wasn't engaging with other people typically anyways, so typically was a weird word to use right then, but I've always been cautious regardless, is what I'm trying to say, because I am very familiar with picking up people's energies just by walking by them, let's put it that way. So the following days after, I more so personalized this, when really it was this person's energy of pain, regret, shame, and guilt. It was the most overbearing, painful, harmful engagement I have ever had in my entire life. And this goes to say that this being a very, very strong attraction, it doesn't have to be that deep by any means to pick up on other people's energies. These energies exchanges happen no matter what. So if a man sleeps with a woman and she has trauma and, you know, unhealed trauma, and let's say she's like highly insecure and had some major issues happen or anything like that, you know, and say he doesn't have good karma. Well, when he goes to the next partner, assuming he hasn't done tons of energy and sacral clearing to get all that energy out, he passes that on to the next person. Now, if a person's being deceitful or feels they've been deceived, that energy passes on, karma passes on. If this person is cheating on somebody, if the person doesn't feel like they're going to by any means pick up any of that energy, that it's not going to be instilled, it will be, but that man is just seeding this stuff. So it is really, really vital that both men and women are being conscious of the energies that they're passing along, and for personal worth, and to take care of yourself and your temple and your emotions and your mental health and physical health and your energy. This is all sacral as well, not to mention to, you know, your abundance and being able to manifest the things you want, the people you want. A lot of energy comes from the sacral chakra. It is a very, 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 very powerful energy center. So you do want to be cautious of who you're allowing into your home, but your temple in your home, because energies can be picked up when somebody just comes into your home anyways. I obviously don't have a lot of people ever in my home, and I'm telling you, even very highly spiritual aware people are oftentimes still carrying entities that have came into my home. And, you know, it's just, we have to be cautious of who we're allowing in our energy. So texting is an energy exchange. Anything we give attention to is an energy exchange. But when we are physically fornicating and coming together and exchanging that really powerful energy, it's not only exchanging the good, feel good energy, it is definitely exchanging both. So yes, dark spaces, which also drugs and even caffeine, anything that's altered, that allows for darkness to, and demons and entities and parasites and energy and emotions, etc., to attach and to seep into. So anything that's uncleared, most people have some, if not a lot, and you know, if you do energy clearing, you may get emotional, but it is always for the better. I definitely recommend inner child healing, but it's to be cautious of anytime you do clearing. I don't recommend cord cutting by any means, but if you can meditate enough to clear that energy out, and that will clear the cords out, I always recommend, you know, just like if you're taking something away, so say that area is open now, you have to fill it with something else, or it's just open game to be filled by any other energy of whatever energy's choice. So when you are doing energy healing on yourself, or if you are going to see a professional, then, you know, you need to make sure that these things are being filled. If somebody does cord removal, you don't really have to go to that extent unless you feel that's necessary for yourself. They have to be filled with the proper energy and pure light energy, or it's just open game. So yes, cords are real. This is a highly active area for cords to attach, and most people, I want to say probably every person on this planet has a cord, unless you have cleansed them, if not many. And I have done my own you know, clearing of those, and I can literally feel them dissolve, and it is a very pleasant, you know, I want to say like blissful feeling, that you can feel them disintegrating. And cord attachments are practically guaranteed with, you know, in sexual interactions, but these can be created just emotionally. This can be created just by a sexual attraction, just by meeting somebody. And all cords and things like that are attachments, and all attachments, any attachments hanging onto you are draining your energy in some way or another, whether or not that person even realizes that they have put an attachment on you. The fact you even have one there, it doesn't matter. It is not good to have. So I recommend doing meditations that are clearing your sacral chakra and all of them, but this is a highly active area. Anybody you've engaged with, guaranteed. I mean, it is the best feeling to feel them being, you know, removed or dissolving, but they have to be filled with the proper energy. Okay, so I cannot stress that enough. So you will want to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing if you're going to seek help with that. You know, you have to pay attention to the way you feel after you're done talking to somebody, after you're done engaging with somebody in bed, or getting work done or help done, and music you listen to. You always want to pay attention to the way you feel. So meditation is one way, music is another way. So you want to listen to music that feels good, and dance. That is a great way to open up the energies in the sacral chakra and to raise your vibration and feel very good. The higher vibration and the more light brought into your sacral chakra, the more that's going to help clear other things out also. So okay, so this is the sacral sound bowl. You can get sound healing done, and there are binaural beats. Of course, you can pay attention to how you feel on those. I'm not big on binaural beats through the cell phone because they're typically not giving the legitimate tone that's by the time it gets to your ear per se, but some do, and some you can legitimately feel it doing something. So that's why I'm recommending the ones you listen to. Pay attention to the way you feel. But like I said, you want to feel good, but when it comes to this particular chakra, especially the sacral chakra, this energy center, do not be surprised if you feel emotions coming up either during a healing session. That's very likely, not to mention if you are doing a meditation or listening to things that will bring that up. So otherwise, listen to high vibrational music. Don't listen to sad country or anything like that if it doesn't, and if it's part of healing to accept and acknowledge something, then yes, but then you have to process that and transmute that energy. That's what's so amazing about being on this planet, is we are in control of our chemistry and the things that we're attracting. It just takes a bit of work to clear that out, to take that power of ours in our hands and utilize that. And in those ways, we do attract the people that we want to attract, and the things and the type of situations and relationships in our beings. That's by the frequency that we're on. So there's two, you know, an atom, just say we're one atom, but there's two, and when they resonate together and flow, it can just kind of meld together a lot easier than one that's really on this same note, and they go like this and, you know, repel or come together and then fall away afterward. That is why sometimes if people just walk away or ghost, it was too strong for them, or too powerful, or it's not vibing, it's not on a balanced level. So it can be, you know, too strong. So you guys do come together before it's repelled, but then you will repel because it's not an equal equation on the chemistry level. So like I said, you can do meditation to clear out energy. You can do sound therapy and sound healing, vibration healing. Dancing is a great way, and water. So this area is a center of emotions, and we are also water, but this is also water as a water-based chakra, I should say. So the root chakra is more of the masculine, and the sacral is more of the feminine. They're both. We need both. I always recommend doing root chakra work first, and as well, you have to have a strong foundation down here in order to have one here. Water is incredibly healing to look at, to drink, to wash down in the shower, to bathe in. Salt water, I recommend always, is incredibly healing. So you can take an Epsom salt bath, and if you're not around fresh salt water, an ocean, of course. And you know, like I said, even shower, you will always want to rinse off with cool water. Cool water is very, very cleansing, of energy in general, even if you're rinsing your hands in cool water. But water is very healing for emotions. Emotions is the feminine energy, that is go with the flow, and Mother Gaia and everything else. So you know, of course, swimming or going in water at any time. But they say that people who even live by water tend to be happier, I believe. Just water is very healing. So these are all great ways to work on cleansing this energy. If you want to do dissolve type of meditations where you're focusing your energy on that, always, you know, you can ask for guidance, you can ask for protection, and, you know, do what you need to do and what feels right for you internally. Inner child healing meditations are hands down the best thing anybody can do to get that out. Like I said, a lot of things we don't even realize we were holding or took on as a child. And forgiveness. So last and most important on this planet, forgiveness releases energy and attachments from us. It does not mean if somebody really hurt you or really has done some damage or has been incredibly deceptive that they are deserving of your energy. And this is holding energy on between the two when there are things that have been unforgiven that we are holding inside of ourselves. So always forgive ourselves. We always have to forgive ourselves if we feel that we dealt with something or didn't know better or held on to something longer than we should have, or whatever it may be. But it doesn't matter. Emotions, by the way, really quick, all are in the past. Anything we're emotional about isn't really in the present and what's happening right now. It's something we're sad about or happy about. We're thinking about something in the past that makes us really emotional. So we really have to clear out this past energies, relationship ties, and drama and anything. But to forgive is incredibly powerful and really good for the heart. We cannot receive love that is blocked off in our heart. Okay, so we have to have an open heart. So forgiveness meditations on every level is ultimately an amazing way to help clear out others and past energy that we are holding on to, so we can be in our power, so we can have a balance and attract the things we want. We have to clear these blockages out. So be cautious of who you give your energy to and who you allow into your home and your personal home, because what people are carrying with them is being entered in your actual house, home, and into this home. And you don't get to really pick which part, just good or bad, enters. So safe sex is ultimately, you know, be cautious of energy, be cautious of, you know, of course, actual physical transmitted diseases, and use protection, but you have to use energetic protection as well. So I think that is going to be it for today. I started this channel to, you know, kind of help share information that I know that may help others. And if you did like this, please like the video, and I will be sharing more. I will catch you